Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 4th Annual Artist Equity Summit hosted by American Composers Forum, or ACF. I'm Vanessa Rose. There's a picture of me, too. I'm Executive Director of the American Composers Forum, and I'm so pleased to see all of you here. Really excited about today, and I'm really excited to share the stage with so many amazing artists and arts leaders today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Walker West Music Academy and also online. I would just like to take a moment first to share a welcome from our board chair, Nirmala Rajasekar, who couldn't be here in person.
Good morning and welcome to our 2022 Artist Equity Summit, hosted here in the premises of the Walker West Music Academy. We are thrilled to be here at this event. I am coming to you virtually. Nirmala Rajasekar, the chair of the American Composers Forum. I took over in July 2022, and I'm very happy that we can be together to think about our youth, the theme being lifting up our youth. PaviElle French has been working with some incredible organizations, some of which we're going to be seeing today. The Purple Playground, True Art Speaks have all been partners, along with a few other organizations we all know very well about. So have a wonderful day and be here till the end of activities, and let's see what this summit gives us. Take care. Be well.
Thank you, Nirmala. I also want to say, in addition to being live streamed, this is available on the ACF YouTube channel. Please feel free to share anything that resonates with you today. It'll be available afterwards as well. All right, so American Composers Forum, for those of you that don't know, we're a national organization, again, based here in St. Paul. We were founded as the Minnesota Composers Forum and continued to maintain our focus of activities here in Minnesota while we also serve and advocate for composers around the country. I want to take a moment to recognize that we're standing on the unceded lands of the Dakota, Anishinaabe, and Ojibwe nations, and ask you to engage with and support the Native communities where you may live. At ACF, we support and advocate for the people creating music today. We frame all our work with a commitment to racial equity. You'll hear more about that later today as well. Our activities include funding, free resources, community activities, and our record label, Innova Recordings, and our storytelling hub, icareifyoulisten.com. We started these gatherings in 2019, September, at the Twin Cities PBS, because we saw the absence of historically marginalized perspectives, particularly from the people creating music today, and many of the other settings in which we exist. The first convening really ignited a transformative experience for us as well. It has really helped to guide us in framing our work with the commitment to racial equity, as well as focusing our advocacy on the value and the impact of living music and living artists today. Today, our theme is lifting up our youth, and I can think of no greater example of why that advocacy matters. The power of music, the power of original work amplifying the perspectives of its creators, and the power we have in sharing this experience together. And I just have to say, the power of having the young performers we're going to be hearing from today right here in front of me is also incredible. Today we're excited to have young people, as you heard, from Purple Playground and True Art Speaks, performing new work that they've created together with the artist PaviElle French, with the support of Heidi Vader and Willie Adams at Purple Playground, Tish Jones and Desdemona at True Art Speaks. I also want to thank the parents, peers, teachers, and community members who believe in this creative process as a form of liberation. These individuals are part of a multi-part residency that was envisioned and led by PaviElle French, which has included the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra, the Schubert Club, Walker West Music Academy, as well as ACF. And we invite you to learn more about this partnership by following the links on our event page. You'll also hear about another program that we're a part of called Composing Inclusion. This is a partnership with the Juilliard School's Pre-College and the New York Philharmonic, funded by the Sphinx Venture Fund. And this has enabled us to co-commission Black and Latin composers to create flexible scores for intergenerational ensembles. And you'll get a sneak peek of a new partnership we have with the Eastside Freedom Library, which is going to be pursuing a theme, immigration, identity, and the arts, over the course of this year, and will be our theme for next year's Artist Equity Summit. Among the works that we're going to be discussing is T. Bui's The Best We Could Do. It's a book that's actually available here if you want to pick it up. And this is part of the NEA Big Read project that we're fortunate to be a part of. On behalf of ACF, I want to express our deep appreciation for everyone involved with this event, our performers and presenters, you, our audience, our host, Walker West Music Academy, our producer, Claim Our Space, our many vendors listed here. If you're here in person, you get to have a lot of wonderful treats, as well as our board of directors, led by our chair, Norma Loretta Secker, who you just heard from, and our dedicated staff. If you are an ACF staff or board member and you're in the room, could you please stand up and just wave your hand? I want to thank you all. I can't really see, it's a bit dark. We have name tags if you're here in person. I encourage you, if you're an artist, composer, teacher, listener, presenter, please come find us and find out more about our work, and please get involved. We're also deeply grateful for the funding support for this program, starting with some of the most generous people I know, Bill and Susan Sands, whose initiative presented the opportunity for so much of this music to take place. This project is supported in part by an award from the National Endowment for the Arts. This activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Generous support has also been provided by the I.A. O'Shaughnessy Foundation and the Lillian Wright and C. Emil Berglund Foundation. The NEA Big Read is a program of the National Endowment for the Arts in partnership with Arts Midwest. At this time, I'm very happy to introduce you to the Executive Director of Walker West Music Academy, Braxton Halsey.
Good morning, everyone. All right, is that the best you can do? Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, because this is a place where we're going to have some rejoice, and we're going to have a joyous occasion, and I'm so thrilled to see all of you, especially our young people in the house today. So welcome. I'd like to welcome American Composer Forum. I'd like to welcome True Art Speak, the Purple Playground. I know that I've been partnering with the Schubert Club, and so it's a wonderful time to be here. I'd like to just give you a little bit of information about Walker West. Not a lot. I'm not going to ramble on. Walker West is the oldest community music education school in the country, led by Black musicians. So, and we've had that history for over 35 years. And then we've done a strategic plan, and one of the strategic plan is community engagement, and that's what this is about. It's community engagement, because it's not about Walker West. It's not about American Composers Forum. It's about our children, our infants, our elders, our teenagers. It's all about that. And so we're trying to build community, and that's what's important to us. And when we see you here today, we welcome you, and we are thrilled that you are going to be here. We have outgrown this space, and in 2024, maybe the American Composer Forum will have it in our new building at 650 Marshall. We're going to have a 3,000 square foot performance space. We're going to have the youth working on digital music and video music production, and it's on. So again, welcome. Take care.
PaviElle French. I am an interdisciplinary artist. I am a vocalist, dancer, an actor, choreographer, writer, sometimes rapper, poet, spoken word artist, and all things art. Sometimes I do even a little bit of visual. I am in the midst right now of my 2022 ACF, American Composer Forum residency. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. In May 2022, we did the Sovereign Suite, and I was able to do it with the Walker West Camoinge String Ensemble. Words can't express to turn around on that stage at the Fitzgerald and to see the youth and the people of our future being a part of something so based in and on liberation and the strength of our people. To be able to have so many Black youth and youth of color on that stage with us, you know, it was absolutely amazing to see, and I couldn't be happier with their performance and with the time and the effort and the love that they put into the music. And as far as Purple Playground is concerned, that experience for me was life-changing. I gave them all a prompt to give me 4 sentences or 4 words about what freedom and liberation mean to them. And their responses were so real and mature and forward thinking. They figured it out in our first conversations together when I came in and sat down with them, and we talked about what it's like to be a person of color in a white-led industry, especially when we're talking about entertainment, music, art, and just the way in which that they immediately was like, yeah, we feel you, we get you. So when it came time for us to write the song, it just happened that way as well. It was just like, it was almost like a cipher, and we just got in there and organically wrote it. But I was just so beyond impressed, not surprised, but impressed by what it was that they did and the music that they wrote, you know, and how determined and fearless that they were in their writing. And I'm getting ready to go in and work with True Art Speaks in a couple of weeks here. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about the young adults that they have chose to collaborate with me. Their strength, their will, their determination, their advocacy for change, their advocacy for changing their lives, for changing the lives of the future, how much they care about the future, how much they care about the people of the future, and the way in which that they think about those things. And that was the whole point of why I'm doing this, because I really wanted to be able to sit down and understand what the youth are thinking about. What directions do they want to go? What do they feel that liberation and freedom mean? What does that mean to them? How do they see themselves living in the future? You know, what are the new ways of thought? This residency has been an absolute dream, because essentially it's what I want to do in life. It's what I want to do in my artistry. I want to live life, love, make great art, and uplift the youth.
All right. Hi. So I'm going to show you a little bit about my process, specifically on Machine and GarageBand today. And I'll just kind of go through some stuff and show you how it works. So this is Code Switch. It's like 17 different scenes, and the scenes are like each pattern, each little bit that I do, it kind of breaks down the beat patterns of each piece and then how I built them. So scene 1 is what I started with, and I just kind of kicked it off like this. And so that goes around 16. Then there's pattern 2, which is the hook of the song. And then 3, the verses. Scene 4, the bridge. And then all my scenes are connected to the machine. So all these are the scenes, and then these are my drum pads and how I'm able to make the beat. So like if we want to go to scene 5, when it gets really chaotic, that's what I was going for with the feel. This is the breakdown. It was like me paying homage to Africa and to the polyrhythmic formats of our songs, and then slowly transition into a hip hop song by adding 808s. I use the same snare pattern all the way throughout the song. It never changes. Serves kind of like a metronome, but without being annoying. Click, 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 because that's annoying to me. I never like click tracks, never like to work with metronomes or anything of that. I just kind of feel my rhythm. And then to fully step into the hip hop song, I'll bring it up in 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm a huge fan of Wu-Tang, specifically RZA, specifically New York style boom bap hip hop. So when you're talking about RZA, Primo, Pete Rock, those are the pinnacles for me. And this was very reminiscent to me just of RZA and something that he would do. And at first I called it like a Charlie Brown beat too, because it reminded me of like some Charlie Brown music too. But then this is how I got into it from there. And then I'll transition to the hip hop beat. 4, 3, 2, 1, and wanted to give it that jazz feel. Give it that ride cymbal. Ding, 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 ding. I think it's like it's so I can ride to it. It's the way it feels. You know, it makes me feel a little quieter. Hey, can't be mad cause I played myself into believing, speaking, writing on my life changes the hearts and minds of those who privilege depends on my demise. What is that to discuss? Haven't you heard enough? Words won't be much in your heart. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So like it's the ride of it for me. That's what I really base my music in. No matter what it is, it's hip hop, soul, jazz, no matter what it is, for me, it's all about the how do I feel when I'm performing. Does it make me sway? You know? So then I keep the same loop pattern, but it's about adding different pieces in it to give it different textures, to give it different feelings, to give it different space, depending on what I'm saying. So like 11, it's all quiet. So of course I was, you didn't listen when I said it nicely. There's only so much anger I can put into my writing. You don't like it, like me. Because I wanted people to hear that and to really understand that. And to make that like the climactic point of the song. You know? And then I had some extra stuff. Because I made it so small, I could add it in to different places of the song and it would change it up even though it's the same loop. So I always gotta have extras, you know, other little things to be able to sprinkle in. And so I put all my ideas forward, you know, and then pick from them, and pick and choose them and, you know, try to be as meticulous as I can with it. So that's basically the breakdown of Code Switch on the Sovereign album. You didn't listen when I said it nicely. There's only so much anger I can put into my writing. You don't like it, fight me. Your cognitive dissonance is frightening. Don't know whether to fight, flight, or strike it like lightning.
One with the earth, one with the tree. Leah.
Unapologetically me.
Sierra.
We are
Priscilla.
I am.
Natalie.
Unapologetically me.
Sienna.
We are
Mora.
I am. Unapologetically me.
Family.
We are
Creative.
I am.
Me.
Unapologetically me.
Artist.
We are
Love.
I am.
Unique.
Unapologetically me.
Together.
We are
Honest.
I am.
Eclectic.
Unapologetically me. We are I am. Unapologetically me.
Morning, everybody. My name is Scott Laguerre, and I am a teacher, a musician, and a human who's absolutely honored to be with you here this morning. And oh my gosh, was this amazing? That was fantastic. So we're thrilled to be here as part of the ACF Equity Summit here at Walker West Music Academy. And it's appropriate that we have the Purple Playground musicians, writers, creatives, artists with us today, because our theme for this year is lifting up our youth. Now, you all wrote this song this summer with PaviElle French. I've got some questions for you for whoever wants to answer them. Kids have a lot of things to do today. Youth have a lot of things to do today. There could be summer jobs. There could be sports. There could be hours and hours of video games if you want there to be. But you all jumped into music. What is it about music that's important to you and gives you a voice?
Music just means everything to me. It's been there for me since I've been born. And a few years ago, I lost a friend, and that's when music was really there for me.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
To me, I feel like music is my video games, you know? Like, in my free time, I'm like riffing on my guitar or listening to music. I feel like it's what I spend most of my free time doing, so it just seems appropriate, like, you know, spending my time doing something I'm passionate about, you know? And time flies by really fast when you're doing something you love, so it doesn't really, I don't know, it's not really a waste of time. If anything, it's an incredible opportunity to be able to be with people I love doing the thing I love, so yeah.
Anybody else thoughts on music? All right, I'll hit you with the next question, because Kimora mentioned time, and I didn't realize this until I got to meet and talk with Willie and Heidi, who started the Purple program, the Purple Playground program. Speaking of time, this wasn't an hour a day. This wasn't a morning activity and then you all went home. This was 9 to 4 every day, sometimes later. That's a lot of time. That's a significant amount of effort. How do you stay present in the moment? How do you stay engaged creatively? You get tired over a long day. What was that like for you all working in the studio hours like that this summer? Rowan.
I'm not gonna lie, it was very exhausting. Like I'd come home, I would often have to like go like stop at home, go straight to my like summer job, and then I'd go home like that night and just like crash. But I have to say the energy is amazing. I love making music with other people. It's just really an incredible experience that like is hard to replicate any other way, you know? It's like just the energy of it, just kind of like, I don't know, I love this program. It's an amazing experience.
Awesome. Please.
I noticed that ever since this program even started, ever since I joined this program, it's always with like the long days that we have of doing music and the people that we have with us working on the music with us, there's always some sort of like specific kind of energy that you can't replicate anywhere else. And that energy, like I think it's really like we feed off of that energy and we it bounces back and forth. And even if it does get tiring and like mentally draining, take breaks, come back, and like we have people there to help us along the way with it too. And lots of other times, like I would go home after having that full day of music and pick up my guitar right again because I had more ideas.
Yep.
And I think that's like one of the best parts about it is the fact that like it's always going. It's like it's always there. So yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, please, come on.
Sorry, I'm talking a lot. But I also noticed that just in that time that we have, I think it's like 2-3 weeks kind of, there are people that we get together in those 2 weeks, and that's like the whole time we spend together during the year. Like we have friends from, you know, out of town, like Vegas, and she came with us from Indiana, which is awesome. But I feel like, I don't know, it's so rewarding to be around people that you can't really be around otherwise. And I feel like not making the most of that time, not getting up at 9 o'clock every morning to see your friends that you can't see otherwise is just, I don't know, it's not really something that I would love to do because I love those people so much. And you're right, like that environment with those people, it's unlike any other thing. So just the people really kept me going too. So, yeah.
Awesome. So we've talked about the commitment, we've talked about the power of music. Now here's the next thing. So you had a unique opportunity to write a song with PaviElle French this summer, an accomplished artist, writer, rapper, the list goes on. Now, when I was coming up, there's always that idea, and I think the media perpetuates this, well, you gotta write a hit. Right? You got to write a hit and you've got to make the money, and maybe you should have a lyric like, I got my peaches down in Georgia. But instead, that's not what you all wrote, and I want to read the one that hits me the most is the second verse of your song. Salt in our eyes, pain in our heart. How will I put together all of my parts? Do not pawn me away. Life's not your game to play. I am unchained, untethered, unrestrained. Our generation, building the foundation, will start a fire, aim to inspire. What story are you all trying to teach us, the older generation, about yourselves? Where did the seeds for this song come from?
Well, when we had first started that part, I had brought up like stuff like George Floyd that was happening with George Floyd and stuff like that, and it made me angry. So I was like, "Hey, we should talk about this in a song to bring change."
Yeah.
When the specific question of like where did that come from, like with just the whole vibes of the song, it came from hurt and it came from pain, because everyone that's in that program, what's good about what I love about all the people that has helped in that program is that they come in with an open mind and they come in with knowing what's going on in our world. And lots of the people in the program are like, there's lots of songs in the world that are like happy-go-lucky, and they give this like they give like fake. It just like, they give lies. And with the people in our program, they want to speak the truth. And this song is like, after listening to the lyrics over and over again after such a long time of like writing it, it like hits so much different, especially with like just trying to heal the whatever's going on here, because there's a lot. And instead of writing something that is fake, we like the truth. And those lyrics are the truth. Yeah. And our generation is working to fix it. So that's the biggest part.
Yes.
Is the fact that our generation is trying to fix it. And and it's obvious, it's very obvious that we can. So I think that's like the first step of everything. So yeah.
That's Tiana. I think this has just been such an incredible opportunity. And a lot of people, they really don't listen to young people, and we get dismissed a lot. And this opportunity that's been gifted to all of us here, we have something to say, and we have something powerful to say. And to be here, to be able to say and express everything that we're going through, and to have people to listen, and all of you here today, it's an incredible gift.
Awesome. Another interesting thing that I found out about Purple Playground and some of its participants, for many of you, this is not your first summer with the organization. There seems to be some repeats, and maybe even Natalie, are you the winner? Is this, how many years is this for you?
5. Yeah.
Wow.
3. Yeah. 5 years. Yeah.
All right. So that's amazing. We were just talking about what we're trying to do, what we're trying to communicate, what we're trying to fix. Now we're seeing dedication. And that's so exciting. Why come back? Because once you learn music and once you learn art, haven't you learned it? You've come back every year. What does it teach you every time you pick up that instrument? What does it teach you every time you come back together in communion in the studio?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that, again, like Kimura said before, and Tiana, there's this very strong community, and we all have these amazing relationships. We're a family. And having everyone come together and make music together, it's just like, it's very empowering. It like pushes not only me, but everyone to like try our hardest and give our ideas and everything like that.
I would say, yeah, I agree with everything that you said, like being able to have this place to come back to with the people that we know and the resources that we have is like unlike any other thing. Like when I first started, I was like, I'm also a 5-year person. I only played clarinet and maybe a little bit of ukulele, like for my 6th grade band. And music wasn't really a huge thing, but I got in because a couple of my friends were interested in the program. And so I was like, oh, I'll join them, why not? But this camp like inspired me to pick up an instrument, get a guitar, you know, make my own stuff. And I feel like it's brought some sort of passion to my life that wasn't there before. And also these amazing people, like this program has brought so much meaning to my life that I didn't have before. Or just like a different step, like a new brainwave of this community, this music community in the Twin Cities, you know, even Prince, you know? Yeah.
As Kimura kind of said, everyone is like coming here with kind of like a different musical background. Like some people might be more like musically skilled or skilled with instruments or like writing or something like that. But what we find each year is that everyone has something to give. Everyone has their own kind of like ideas that like come back to their own like personal experiences. And every year that we come back, like they're just new ideas, new energy. We always create things that like we couldn't even have imagined before. And it's really incredible.
Awesome.
I feel like I'm talking too much. There's because I've been here for 5 years too, and some of the people that were here like towards the beginning, like maybe they just had so much going on in their life that they didn't have time like to be in the program anymore. Maybe it just wasn't for them. But there's so much to learn from the people in this program that I think that's one of the reasons that I kept coming back, because the instrument I really wanted to learn was specifically guitar. And I like was obsessed with guitar. And then I learned a lot from Kimura because I play more of acoustic, she plays more electric. And so like when we would practice together and I would bring my acoustic, Kimura would bring her electric, and then we switched. And it was always like just like this thing where we would, it's always a learning experience. And when people ask like, why come back? Like you do it so often, why? There's like so much more to do each and every time, and there's so much more messages to send throughout, like in music, in the songs that we make. Because it's never ending. It doesn't stop. The creativity doesn't stop. And our minds never stop going. So there's always creativity and always something else to put into it each and every year. Especially when there's new people too. And you get to learn more about their backgrounds, and that's something that I really love, is that everyone takes time to learn about each other, even within the music too. And like it always tells stories, because we've had moments where we can always just talk. And like it doesn't even have to be about music, even though that is what it's about a lot of the time. We can just talk, and like we have like it's an open space. And I think that's another reason for coming back each year, is because we're aware mentally that it's a safe space for our thoughts within music and within our own mindset. So, yeah.
Not only that, like everyone around us, we also have many people come in. We had Bobby Z and Matt Fink from The Revolution. We had Jellybean Johnson, PaviElle, and many other speakers, and they really influenced us and guided us through this whole process, and it's just absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
Elisa and Adrian, yeah, Elisa Fiorello and Adrian Crutchfield too.
Yeah, like, sorry, we're just like, yeah, the resources that are here are insane. I feel like, especially with that wisdom, that knowledge that those people have being in the industry for so long, is one of those things that is like, it will not match to any other thing that I've experienced here so far, you know? So the things I've learned from Adrian and the coaching that I've had from Elisa, like, Jellybean Johnson, like, we're really into guitar. Being able to, like, be in the same room with him is, like, insane. So just the resources are incredible, which I'm really appreciative of.
Well, let's bring up Heidi and Willie, who founded Purple Playground. We can crowd, we can fit. So, you two started this organization. Purple Playground came out of a desire to carry on Prince's mission of music, but also education. As we found out, many people found out, after his death, he was a philanthropist and an activist in so many ways, and powerfully, quietly, right? I have a question for you, though. If we listen to our youth, if we open the front page, there's 100 different things that need attention. There's 100 different challenges. There's 1,000 challenges in front of us. For you two, why is music the vehicle for change and empowerment? Why start this organization?
That's a big question. Because for me, just as a human and as an adult, I got to provide a space, and I got to be the adult that I needed when I was their age. And so that's what this was about. Prince, for me, when I was their age, I didn't have friends like this. You know, I just didn't. In the 80s, music programs were being wiped out because the government felt that that wasn't valuable anymore. So there was a lot of loneliness for me as a teen. I craved for an opportunity in a space like this. So when I became an adult, I had to create that. And just sitting here, I'm in tears, y'all. Like, to see something that you just had in your mind, I just want to do something for kids, to see it grow and manifest to this level, just really speaks to the power of music. It's a universal language that speaks to the soul of all human beings. Yeah. and it does have the power to create meaningful change. So that's why. Hold on. Got to fix your hat, baby. That's my student right there, Sophia.
Well, I'll answer that too. When we started it, Willie wasn't there for the first few months, and my idea was to do something Prince would have liked. Prince was a philanthropist. We're like, we're going to raise this, we're going to start this group, we're going to have parties, we're going to raise money for kids' music education, we're going to donate, probably to Walker West, sorry, we're not. And then Willie came to me a few months later and said, let's do our own program. And I said, yeah. And we did it in less than 8 months. But music has been in my life. My mom says I sang since I was 18 months old. I was never professional. I was classically trained, but I never had the guts. When I was performing on Northrop Auditorium, I would luckily there was 30 of us playing piano at once because I would freeze. Twice I did it, I froze. So it's kind of, seeing these kids, the bravery. I don't know if you know how brave you are. Do you know how brave you are to get up here in front of us at your, okay. Because I'm just so impressed. And music translates into everything in life, and you can understand each other through music in ways you can't through words. So that was it.
Thank you. Natalie mentioned the Revolution just a minute ago, one of Prince's first groups, and that was a groundbreaking group. That was a mixed gendered band, right? It wasn't just 4 dudes on stage. It was also a mixed race band. That was a really interesting model, I think, for many to see. Well, you guys have taken it one more step, and you've now broached the age gap, that age thing. You're bringing youth into adult and adult music making. Why is that bridge so important?
It's important because, well, first of all, the revolution was revolutionary. Because again, we got to think historically. In the 1980s, a lot of that, the thinking and the mentality that we had in the 60s and 70s was being suppressed. And so, you couldn't hear black artists on so-called white radio. It was really segregated. And so Prince was knocking those barriers down with this awesome band and saying, no, this is what it's really about. And me as a youth, I was feeling that. I was experiencing that, me and a whole generation of folks. And so now you talk about intergenerational. The youth have something to say, y'all. We've always known this. And what do we do when we become adults? We treat the kids the same way we were treated. And what Heidi and I did with Purple Playground is we're not going to continue that pattern with our program. We're going to create an intergenerational program where we can all sit down at the same table and I can learn from the youth. Natalie teaches me just as much as I teach Natalie. Yeah. And that is the model, not just for this program, but I believe should be the model for education, period.
You said it.
Seeing you all, and you said it a moment ago, Heidi, courage and bravery and also power, it's proof positive of what you're doing. I'm wondering what's next for Purple Playground. What happens next year?
I don't know what's going to happen next year. I don't even know if we're going to be here tomorrow. I know today is special, and I know right now we did something historical. But my dream, right? But my dream is I think we have a message, y'all, that I think is universal, that we need to, like Prince said, take it around the world in a day. I think that the power of music could connect the world in a way that we haven't even thought of. And so just how Prince took his guitar and toured the world, I would love to take this mission around the world and try to, again, reimagine, remix education. In a way that is multi-generational, that is multiracial, that is truly about the human experience. I mean, to that level, that's what I'm thinking.
And I'm the practical one. We are going to do Academy of Prince next summer at least once or twice. We might be doing it in Vegas this year. We're also working on a musical based on songs that they all started writing during our online Zoom COVID sessions that are going to address real problems with kids. And that's what we want to take around the world too. So we got a lot of goals.
That is fantastic. Before we break, Willie, something you said reminded me of an anecdote that I heard from David Z. David was Bobby Z's older brother. David was an engineer and producer early on, working on hits like Kiss and other things with Prince. And when Prince started building Paisley Park, the big, massive facility, some of you have probably recorded there or visited and toured the facility, it's huge. There's 4 studios and there's film studios and all these things. And David Z asked him, why are you building something this big? This is bigger than you, Prince. And he, in a very unique, I think, perspective said, no one can ignore an army. Right? He had community. He had togetherness. He had collective action in his mind that if we're unified, Purple Playground, PaviElle French, the American Composers Forum, Walker West, True Art Speaks, no one can ignore that message. No one can ignore that community. Purple Playground, musicians, thank you so much. Willie, Heidi, thank you so much. ACF and Walker West, thank you so much for today.
Thank you, guys.